Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you're watching Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks, and it is another brand new episode of Who's That Cosplayer? And joining me right now is somebody that is really cool. I reached out to him to do Jotaro Jolene collab when Stone Ocean came out, and that is Pharaoh, man. Pharaoh, how are you doing today?
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm having a wonderful day. The weather's good. Can't get any better.
Hey, I love that. The weather is good here. We are into the spooky season right now, and fall is one of my favorite times of the year because it's just so much horror stuff going on. You got the events, you got Halloween, you got the parties and all that stuff. And I just love it. So thank you very much for joining me up here on Who's That Cosplayer. So are you ready to get into this interview?
Hell yeah, let's go.
Hey, I love it. So before we do it, everybody that's watching, make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, and you hit that bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And as D always says, podcast link down below in the description. Like, follow, subscribe. So Pharaoh, to get this thing rolling, the first question I always ask each and every guest is, what is your origin story? Every hero or villain has one, so tell everybody who you are.
Okay, well, I am a 21-year-old Canadian cosplayer, and I feel like I have a pretty similar origin story to a lot of people out there. I have parents who are pretty nerdy themselves, and I think it all started when they tried to figure out which one will the kid like, Star Wars or Star Trek, because my parents are on opposite sides. So they're like,
no.
yeah, like the kid will be the tiebreaker. Spoiler alert, I like both, so
Nice.
it didn't work. Yeah, and it just kind of evolved from there. Oh
Nice.
yeah.
Nice. So which parent likes Star Wars and which parent likes Star Trek?
So my mom loves Star Trek. My dad loves Star Wars.
And I'm pretty sure that that caused a bunch of arguments because of the fandom. I feel like with every fandom, like there are arguments there. Star Wars, Star Trek, Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings and Star Wars. I've heard those arguments before too. It's just like it depends. And then of course Marvel versus DC. You got those arguments, but like that's cool. That's cool that both of your parents were nerds, and it's just like that was your gateway into becoming a nerd. So we know what your origin story is. Now, what is the origin story of how you became a cosplayer?
So I've always loved dressing up. Like Halloween was a struggle with my parents because I could never decide what I wanted to be. So I was like 4 or 5 costumes every Halloween. I was like, let's get this going. So I just love to dress up. And then when I got into anime more when I was a teenager, I was like, oh, it's done. Like there's whole cosplay communities. So then I kind of dabbled in it when I was around 13 and kind of got out of it. And then when the pandemic hit, I really just kind of got back into fandom again after kind of pulling away from it. And then I just kind of started going and didn't stop.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, like just looking at all of the costumes that you've done, like you are really talented. Me, I'm a huge JoJo's Bizarre Adventure fan, and I really appreciate you cosplaying Jolene. I don't have the hat on right now, but it's just like if I had the hat on, I would. It is crazy because like every Jolene cosplayer, I always say, Jolene, I love you. I hope that you can forgive me. I've been watching over you this entire time, and I know that you might hate me now, but just know that I never forgot about you and I was always by your side. I say that to every Jolene cosplayer because it's just like Jotaro, he's not a bad dad. And we learned, the reason why he wasn't in Jolene's life, it was to protect her. Spoiler alert, if you haven't watched batch 2 of Stone Ocean yet or read the manga, but we're not going to spoil you too much. But I just love your JoJo cosplays. I know that you recently posted Dio, which is up there when it comes to top JoJo villains. So I want to ask you, like, what are your top 3 favorite JoJo's Bizarre Adventure cosplays that you've done?
Oh my goodness. So Jolene, obviously, she's like my number one. She's the one I've done like the most versions of. And then probably Trish from part 5 because I love her. She's great. I think she's super underrated. And then probably Dio because when I just did it, I was like, oh, like this is amazing.
It is. Like your Dio is badass. I really love it, man. And to piggyback off of what you were saying about Jolene, when I met you, the first Jolene that I saw was the one that you had sent me to use for the collab. But when I was putting the slideshow together, I was like, wow, like he has so many different Jolene outfits that you've done. Like even like the one that you're wearing right now. And that's one of the things that I love about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is that there are so many different colors that you can do when it comes to the characters. It's like, of course, you have like your set colors that from the anime, but it's like, say for example, if you wanted to do like me, I want to do a Jotaro outfit just all red because I haven't seen an all red Jotaro, so I just think that it's really cool that you can do whatever color you want to do when it comes to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So now I want to ask you, like, what was it like when you went to your first con and you cosplayed? Like, how was that experience?
It's such a wild experience because like you never, like when you're first getting into it, you kind of don't know what to expect. You don't know how it's going to be received. And I really feel like the online cosplay world and then like the convention cosplay world is so different.
It is.
So it's really kind of beautiful to experience both sides of it. I love the kind of outpour of support you kind of feel at conventions because people are just happy to see you, right? It's kind of amazing.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. And I mean, I think it's really cool when you meet people online and you form a friendship, and then when you get to meet them at a convention, like I just recently did that with one of my good friends, Marmar does cosplay, and we were at Incredible Con in South Carolina, and it was just really cool. I cosplayed as Jotaro, they cosplayed as Jolene, and we had a really fun time. People, like, they stop you, they want to take photos. I want to say my favorite moment from that con was somebody had came up to me and they was just like, hey, my friend really loves JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and he's going to flip out if he sees you guys. So it's like, I walk over there and I'm just like, why are we here at this con right now, Jolene? And he was just like, yo, are you serious? And it's like, we took photos and whatnot. And like, that's what I love about cosplaying, because it's just like, not only are you having a fun time, but you are, making somebody else's experience really fun. So I want to ask you, like, what has been one of your favorite con moments that you have had so far in your cosplay? Who's that cosplayer?
Dragon Sith cosplay.
Yes. Wow, that's such a, oh my God. So I actually just got back from a convention this week. I was at Edmonton Comic Expo.
Nice.
And funnily enough, there was a Sephiroth cosplayer who just like walked up to me and was like, oh my God. It's like, I love JoJo so much. And like, we got a picture together and it's so funny to have like people from so many different medias in a picture together. Like Jolene and Sephiroth in a picture together is like the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my God. No, that's funny, man. It's crazy too, because I was literally just thinking about Sephiroth earlier today. And I was just like, man, like I've never seen a Sephiroth cosplayer at any of the cons that I've gone to, because I would love to interview one. I think that it would be a really fun conversation. I've ran into Zach, I've ran into Clouds, but I've never ran into Sephiroth. So any Sephiroth cosplayers that are watching this interview right now, it's just like, y'all heard it here. Please cosplay as Sephiroth at a con that I'm going to, so that way I can interview you and ask you, why do you hate Cloud? That's all I want to ask. I just want to know why you hate Cloud. But I think that's really awesome that you went to the con and the Sephiroth cosplayer came up to you and was just like, yo, I love JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Staying on the JoJo train, which part is your favorite part? Because it seems like you cosplayed from like each part. So like, which one is yours?
So my favorite part, it's such a hard question because I have like two answers for two different reasons,
Yeah.
So like for like characters and like backstory and everything, it's gonna be part 5 because I love how each character is kind of developed and fleshed out and like we get to see them grow. And then for like pure enjoyment for watching, it's part 4.
Yay, nice.
Yeah.
Yes. Part 4 is my favorite. I love Josuke. I love Jotaro in part 4. And now, I mean, since I just mentioned 2 JoJos, which JoJo is your favorite?
Josuke, 100%. I love him so much.
Josuke is best boy. And, since we're talking about Josuke, I do want to say rest in peace to Billy Kometz, who voiced Josuke. And my condolences to his friends and family. He was an awesome person, and it's just like I love him as Josuke. He did a really good job, and it's like part 4 is like my comfort anime for JoJo. I mean, it's my comfort JoJo part. It's like I can just put that on and just listen to all of the voice actors and whatnot. And I'm surprised that I've never watched it subbed. It's just something about the dub that I like. And also, I mean, like we've interviewed like a bunch of the voice actors that were on part 4. I guess it's because I love it so much. But now I got to know, who is your favorite JoJo villain?
JoJo villain?
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's probably gonna be Kira, because there's just something about
hey, give me
him.
a high five. Give me a high five. Yes.
He's amazing.
I knew you were my daughter. Oh my God. It's crazy. Yeah. Go ahead.
Cool. He's just so cool. Just like all his like quirky little voice lines and like making puns about hands, and like he's like funny, and then like the next minute he's like really intimidating. He's just got such a good range, and he's just really enjoyable as a villain.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with that. And it's funny because like I interviewed Akira Cosplayer, and like it was just such a fun interview because I was just like, Kira, like, what are you even doing here? Like, he kept trying to take the microphone away from. I was just like, I'm not letting you touch the microphone. So then that way you can make it self-destruct when I take it back from you. And he was just like, well, look, I just want to know, like, how's your daughter doing? Like, why aren't you in her life? I was like, what about how's my daughter doing, bro? Like, what is here? I was just like, you want to fight right now? It's just like, I'll call Star Platinum. But again, that's what I was just saying earlier. That's what I love about cosplay, man. It's just like, you just never know what you're going to get when you go to a con. And, I got to know now, like, when you're not cosplaying, like, what are some of your hobbies that you enjoy doing?
I'm also an artist, so I do like digital and traditional art. So I do that, and other than that, I work a lot. Kind of what I'm just doing,
I mean, hey, you got to work to get that money, so that way you can buy all these awesome costumes, man. Because it's like cosplay. Cosplay is not cheap, traveling is not cheap, and going to cons is not cheap. It's just like you got to have that moolah if you're gonna do this stuff. So I want to know too, like, are there any cosplays that you've ever like made yourself, or do you just order everything online?
Yeah, I have made a couple of them. I made one of my Jolene outfits, my Abakio cosplay.
Nice.
My Diablo pants that I wore to a convention. That big mistake. I made them out of leather. Never again.
Oh man, and that's an all-day thing. Oh my God.
Yeah, and then my Dio cosplay.
Nice, man. That is awesome. And again, like your Dio. It's just like y'all have seen it in the background. It's just like I love all 3 photos, and it's just I just love like everything that you do when it comes to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So I want to know now, and this is the final cosplay question that I have for you. Are there any cosplays from any other anime or series that you would like to dabble in?
Yeah, I'm actually currently in the process of doing a whole build for Sailor Moon. Ooh. So we're going to do like a whole Sailor Moon group, which would be fun.
Nice. Yeah. That is awesome. Sailor Moon is that's one of my favorites, man. And just to let everybody know that's watching right now, we've interviewed both Sailor Jupiter voice actors, Amanda C. Miller and Susan Roman, and both of those interviews are here on the channel, or you can listen to it on the podcast because your boy loves Sailor Moon. That's what we do up here on Love of the Bank. So now we are at the end of the interview, and like I said at the start, it's the spooky season. So I gotta know, first off, are you into horror?
Of course, I love horror.
I gotta ask because sometimes it's just like some people like, I don't watch horror movies, so I just gotta ask. So tell me, what is one of your favorite horror movies that still scares you to this day?
Ooh, it's gotta be Silence of the Lambs. That one gets me. There's just something about Hannibal Lecter.
Nah, man.
He's creepy.
he is, man. It's just like, to be honest with you, I still haven't seen that movie because when I was a kid, like one of the kids in my classroom he told me that this guy was sitting here eating people and whatnot. And he was just like, yeah, man, if you want, like, you know, you could be eating right now. Like, all he has to do is just come up here and he can just eat you. And like, I never watched the movie. And same thing with Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I finally watched it this year because it's just like people used to be like, oh yeah, like I'm not really the real person. Like, I'm an alien and stuff. And I was just afraid that somebody was gonna snatch me up when I was a kid. But yeah, that didn't happen. But yeah, I need to check out Silence of the Lambs though. That's definitely something that I'm going to do during the spooky season, because every day I always make sure that I watch a horror movie or a horror TV show. And, you know, Hulu and Netflix, they do a really good job at that. So I want to know, like, what are some of the things that you're going to do to celebrate the spooky season?
I have a friend visiting from the UK, so we're going to get a little crazy, have some little bit of Halloween fun. And then I have a Halloween party I'm going to with a new cosplay, so I'm kind of hyped over that. It's been in the works for a while, so I'm just gonna show up with a new one. So
nice. Now, can you reveal that new cosplay to us now, or do we have to wait and see?
I can totally reveal it right now. You guys will be the first to know. My Halloween costume for this year is Ceres Victoria from Helsing.
Ooh, nice. I can't wait to see that. I can't wait to see the photos. And, you know, once you post them online, I'm going to share them in my story, because you're my daughter. And like I said, it's like, I love you. I care about you. And you know, even though, you know, you're in Canada and I'm here in the United States, I've been watching over you this entire time.
We love a supportive dad. We love to see it.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So, like I said, we're here at the end of the interview, and I just want to say thank you very much for coming up here and joining me on a brand new episode of Who's That Cosplayer in the Spooky Season. So before I let you go, let everybody in social media land know where they can find me at.
Awesome. So my TikTok and my Instagram is feral_mans. That's kind of where I'm at right now. I used to have a Twitter, but it died. So it's gone, dusted.
Hey, well, look, y'all make sure that y'all go and follow Feral Mans on all of his social media accounts. Y'all know where y'all can find me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, at KingBenji_Banks. On Twitter and Instagram, you can find me on Facebook at Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Thank you all again for watching this interview. Make sure y'all check out some more interviews that we have here on the channel, along with reviews and reaction videos. The podcast link is down below, but we have new episodes every Tuesday, and then the video of that episode is up here on YouTube on Friday. Like I always say, keep that pinky up, stay positive, and stay safe during this spooky season. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Peace.
Thanks again, everybody, for watching another episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe to the channel. Podcast, we got that too. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and hit that bell for further episodes and notifications. Thanks a lot to our patrons. And if you don't mind, join the Patreon. We'll be having new specials coming up soon.